Hello, viewers. As part of the CTAP project, we're interviewing a COVID-19 survivor today. Good morning, sir. And please, what's your name?
Good morning. My name is Kofi Mensah Bonsu.
Please remember the exact date you tested positive for COVID-19.
Yes, I do. It was, I think, somewhere around the 10th or 11th of January this year. So I think about the second week of January this year. Yes.
How was the feeling like?
Um, as is expected, the initial shock and disbelief. We've been hearing about this disease for so long. It has kept us in our homes for over a year. Destroyed businesses and taking people away from their families and all that. So to finally be at the center of this same issue, for which I was like a distant observer, to finally be within it, it wasn't a good feeling at all.
Please, which hospital ran the test?
That would be Inkum Hospital on the Spintex Road. Yeah.
How would you describe the quality of care you received at the hospital?
As far as my experiences are concerned, it was to the highest level. I mean, they made sure that they did their best as far as keeping me up to date with my visitation schedules, my consultation schedules, and then reports on my test results, the reports and all that, calling me to come for it and all those kind of things. And the care that the caregivers themselves gave to me and offered, the reception, the atmosphere, the lack of stigmatization or some kind of weird treatment based on my sicknesses at that time. I mean, I had none of that. They were receptive, they were warm, and they were very professional. So I really appreciate that.
Okay, please, have you been in any of the isolating centers?
Fortunately not. Yeah, fortunately, I didn't have to spend time there, even though my case was severe and I also had my fair share of issues having to deal with it at home. Thankfully, I didn't have to use any of the isolation centers. It never got to that stage.
Has there been any stigmatization following this whole COVID incident for you?
It wasn't direct. I mean, I did go back to the office and the guys were like, hey, stay away from me, kind of thing, but nothing too harmful and all that. And I also recall taking steps myself to make sure that I was fully well before I rejoined society, because I also didn't want to put others at risk. It wasn't a good experience, and I'll never want anyone in my personal circle or outside it to experience it. Yeah, so that's how it was for me.
So how was your general experience with the COVID-19? How was it?
I remember being in the consulting room with the doctor and him initially suggesting that I was COVID, and I tried to laugh it off. Oh, how can it be? And he was like, sure. I mean, it's happening right now. A lot of people are getting in it around this period, so it could be it. So to finally see the lab results with the positive confirmation, I had that heart sinking in moment, and it wasn't too good. I can recall the number of times that I used to wake up in a coughing fit, and then my family would have to. They couldn't come in contact with me, so maybe they would be downstairs and I'll be up there, and then they would have to ask me if honestly I felt that it was so bad I needed to be taken to the isolation center. Then I had to decide right then if I would weigh the value of my life and how I was feeling at that point, and telling them, you know what, it's difficult right now, but I'll push through and stay. Because there was still this fear that the moment I step into an isolation center, I'd already condemned myself that this is it. I'd given up. So that desire to fight a little more probably kept me here, pushing, trying to make things work. But the first week, it wasn't pretty at all. I remember experiencing almost all the symptoms. I used to wake up with chills, headaches, body pains, shortness of breath, difficulty in breathing. Right now, I relish the joy of being able to take in a deep breath, like fill my chest and let it out. But in January, this same effort, it would have had me on the floor attempting to do this. It was impossible. Sometimes I could go through nights where I couldn't sleep. So I'd really, really, really want to reinforce this thing and say that it is not a joke at all. It is not pleasant, and I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Mr. Kofi Mensah Bonsu, I'm really sorry you had to go through all this. Thank you very much for your time.